Welcome to YouTube 5 Minutes.
Hello, YouTube 5 Minutes viewers. My name is Ragnar Lodbrok, and today, I will be telling you my story from my perspective. So, grab a cup of mead and join me on this journey through time, as I reminisce about the adventures of my life. I was a legendary Norse hero and warrior, who lived during the 9th century. You might have heard of me from the TV show Vikings, but let me assure you, my life was way more exciting than any television drama could portray. I was born into royalty, as the son of the Swedish king, Sigurd Ring. I was destined for greatness, and greatness is what I achieved. Now, you must be wondering how I got the name Lodbrok. It's quite an interesting story, actually. You see, I wanted to win the hand of a beautiful maiden named Thora, who was the daughter of a powerful earl named Harald. To impress her father, I had to perform an extraordinary feat, slay a menacing serpent that had been terrorizing their lands. Before the battle, I crafted a pair of trousers made from animal hide, doused in tar, and covered in sand. This makeshift armor protected me from the serpent's venomous bites, and I was able to defeat the beast, earning the nickname Lodbrok, which means hairy breeches in Old Norse. Talk about a fashion statement. Now, before we continue with my thrilling tale, let me tell you about the fantastic new merchandise that YouTube 5 Minutes has to offer. They have an awesome range of clothing and accessories featuring my fierce visage and many other Norse designs. If you think my hairy breeches were cool, you'll love these items. So, make sure to check them out after hearing my story. After marrying Thora, I became a legendary king and led many successful raids across Europe, from the British Isles to the east. My warriors and I were known for our exceptional skills in battle, and our enemies trembled at the mere mention of our names. One time, we took over a monastery, and I swear, the monks prayed harder than they ever had before, thinking we were sent straight from the devil himself. Little did they know, we just wanted some of their tasty mead and a place to rest our weary heads. On one of my adventures, I came across a fierce shield maiden named Lagertha. She was a formidable warrior, and I couldn't help but be impressed by her skills. Of course, I had to make her my wife. Thora had passed away, and it seemed only fitting to have a strong woman by my side. Lagertha and I had some wild times together, both on and off the battlefield. But, like any great warrior, she eventually felt the need to forge her own path, and we went our separate ways. My life wasn't all about conquering lands and fighting battles, though. I was also a proud father to many sons, including the famous Bjorn Ironside, Ivar the Boneless, and Ub, among others. My boys were a chip off the old block, each with their own unique talents and personalities. Ivar, for example, had a wicked sense of humor. One time, he told me he'd discovered a new way to travel by boat without getting wet. Turns out, he was just sitting in a bathtub on the shore. That boy could always make me laugh. Unfortunately, not all of my adventures had a happy ending. During one of my raids on England, I was captured by the Northumbrian king, Ælla. He was a vengeful man, who decided to punish me by throwing me into a pit of venomous snakes. As I faced my doom in that pit of venomous snakes, I couldn't help but think about my life's many adventures and the legacy I would leave behind. It's a good thing I had my trusty hairy breeches with me, otherwise, I might not have been able to crack a joke in my final moments. I remember saying, well, at least I won't have to worry about snake bites on my legs. My sense of humor never waned, even in the face of death. But, as they say, every ending is a new beginning, and my death was no exception. My sons were filled with rage and sadness upon hearing of my demise, and they swore to avenge me. They united their forces and formed the Great Heathen Army, a fearsome fighting force that would make any enemy quiver in their boots. And let me tell you, those boys didn't mess around. They were determined to make King Ælla pay for what he had done to their beloved father. The Great Heathen Army swept across England, raiding, pillaging, and conquering in my name. I may have been gone from this world, but my spirit lived on through my sons and their warriors. Eventually, they captured King Ælla and served him his just desserts. Instead of a simple execution, they performed the gruesome blood eagle ritual, which I must admit, was fitting for such a treacherous man. As I watch over my descendants from the halls of Valhalla, I can't help but feel pride in the legacy I left behind. My sons carried on my name and continued to shape the world with their strength and cunning. And, thanks to YouTube 5 Minutes, my story can now reach even more people, inspiring them to embrace their inner warrior and live life to the fullest. Speaking of YouTube 5 Minutes, don't forget to check out their new merchandise featuring my image and other Norse designs. After all, who wouldn't want to be reminded of my incredible life and the legacy I left behind? I might even have to get Odin himself to pick up a few items for me. So, my friends, as we part ways for now, remember the lessons my life can teach you: embrace challenges, love fiercely, and never lose your sense of humor. Scowl! And that, YouTube 5 Minutes viewers, is the story of Ragnar Lodbrok, as told by the legend himself. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through time and history. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic tales and fantastic content. Until next time, farewell.